at the wrist. Step out, palms down, heel down, gather energy, round it out. Come up with your right foot, right hand on the outside. Kick out in line, in. You're on an L stance away from the back foot, now into a bow stance, okay? So if I were to drag the front foot back, I should have a space, a gap. Sit back, sit down. Pivot all the way around. Round out that front, with your hands. Left hand, left foot up. Kick out. Down. And then I'm repositioning myself so it's kick out with your left, in. This guy doesn't come down now. It kicks out, it comes down, and it splits. And no matter what I try to pass on to you, you get it in the beginning, and then this foot is wrong, okay? So you're making it more difficult for yourself. So when the left foot kicks out, it comes in, and then it goes out. But where it's planted is always on its toe. But where it stands is important. The toe, it's on its toe, which is correct. It's on its toe, but it's wrong in that it's flaring out. So remember I said that the toed foot has to be parallel to the planted foot. So this is as parallel as I can do it. If I turn my toe and I have it on my toe, it's incorrect because this foot is no longer parallel to the planted foot. Okay, so that's the first requirement, okay? In the beginning, perhaps, it's too much, and I am going slower for instructions that you find this point. So the best way I've taught it, and I think it's still the best way, is to place your right heel on a cross-section of a corner of a tile, all right? That's your planted foot. When you kick out with your left and in, you want to be behind that planted foot's heel, or you want to be in line with the heel of that foot. So it should be on or near that line where your cross-section of your heeled right foot is. So if you plant your right foot on a cross-section, and you come up with your left foot and your left hand, and you kick out, when you bring it in, that toe should land on the heeled line. So if you can test it, that's where you want it. Now, this is my most comfortable span. If you should kick out and say you want to come here, it's not going to help you because you're splitting your weight. You want to make sure that weight is always on this grounded right foot. So I'm not going to sell myself short and come here. If I come here, I'm not going to have that room to turn. The same problem with coming out on an L stance, right? So you want to make sure that you have that span. I take 2 blocks, okay? That's my thing. Then you're going to have to pivot and have enough room to come out on an angle rather than a straight ahead line. Because when golden cockerel is veering to the left and veering to the right, same with maiden. You don't want to come straight here because you don't have room to turn. You want to come veer to the left. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, right foot on a cross section. Left foot, left toe, left foot parallel, in line, okay? And your weight is on your back. So this is the span that I'm talking about. So you find that comfortable span. To find the comfortable span, you exaggerate the span and say, hey, this is way too much. Then you bring it in and you find that comfort, okay? And then if you say, but I'm not sure, maybe it's still too far, then inch in closer and then try to turn. And if you can't, then you have to adjust, okay? So that's self-discovery. That's taking it home, figuring it out. Good for your brain. Weight down on that back foot, on your toe, come down, both are down. You're going to eventually, as the left hand passes your midway, you're going to take it out with hands go for the ride, by spinning your left heel outwards to the left to come up and shift your weight as a golden cockerel. So you get the bigger picture, and then you say, okay, now I get the bigger picture. I have to end up as a golden cockerel, but I have to shift my weight, I have to pivot my foot after I get my parallel. And I have to spin, because she already taught me that when you're a golden cockerel, you're going to have to not go this way, you're going to have to turn on your axis like this. So you then say, oh yeah, I can apply it right away. Okay, so let's see how much we can apply. All right, any questions first? The best way is to keep on trying it and then question or examine, re-examine, and then say to yourself, although Tai Chi may be very difficult, and especially with this move, it's got to be logical, okay? And then that part of logic then is filtered by what you see, what you hear, what your body can do. And that's logical until someone tells you, hey, but then it gets more logical, right? It's like that's what you're here for some instructions and some for self-discovery. All right, right foot on a cross section. And you know that, do it with me, the toe of the left foot has to come out this way because then it's parallel, right? You know that the weight is on the back or right foot. You know the hand is here. The hook hand is higher. The hook is just like a single whip. So the thumb remains in the center with 4 fingers surrounding it in a loose way, and the wrist, can you do this? The wrist comes down, wrist drops down, wrist drops down, wrist drops down, thumb is surrounded. Thumbs are surrounded, wrist drops down. Very soft. Not, yeah, drop your hand and then do not purse it. Just keep it soft. But they're touching, okay? So this hand is higher. This hand is almost like a brush knee where, you know, one is like this, so it's like this, okay? It's not like this, but it's like this, okay? Like this, okay? And we know the weight is on the right. We know that our toe has to be this way. We know we have to come down. What do we know? Show me. We have to come down. When we lower down, we're rooting down, we're taking care of gravity. As we come down, we turn our hips and waist. Our hand went down to the mid portion of our body. When we turn to come out to the left, everything twists to the left. What is everything? The top, the torso, the hips and waist, and the pivoted foot comes to the left. That's easy. Nothing is left out. Everything moves as a unit. Let's see how that's true. Hooked hand, split, and you can check your split, okay? Weight down, turn the hips and waist, halfway. As you're ready to pivot and your hands are going to veer to the left, everything moves as a unit as you pivot, veering to the left, stretch out, and set. We're going through it entirely, seeing it as a whole first. Right now, you're about 50-50, maybe a little 40-60, but 50-50 for our purposes. You're sort of in a bow stance. You're going to swing or shift your weight to the forward foot, turn on your axis, and make a golden cockerel. Okay, one more time. You're at, let's turn this way. 45 in the back, and you're like this. Actually like this, right? We're on an angle. Okay? You're going to do this motion. How? Show me. Are you engaging your core, or are you just moving your hands? Engage your core. Think it through. The hand comes back, the hand comes forward. In unison. Hook, in unison. Hook, give up the hook. Give up the hook. Okay? So here we are, sort of in a bow stance. We're going to do this, and at the same time, shift your weight to the front foot, spin on the axle, golden cockerel. toe, spin yet again, left hand is the hook. So now we look at our feet and we say, hey, we got to make something better than that, because what you do on one side has to be done on the other side. So what did we say? The toe, when you spin, the toe has to be in line with the heel. So you're going to have to do some homework and work on that, so that you, yes, can look down and check, but eventually you're going to have to. So this is what I mean, okay? So this is sort of what I mean. This is the first veering to the left. The hook hand comes up. I shift my weight. I go on my axis. I tilt towards the left toe, and I spin. I should have the toe in line with the heel. Weight on the back, split, down. Everything moves with my body. Veering now to the right, set. Setting it up right. I know that this is going to be a hard one. I'm going to wait until I'm steady. Then I'm going to shift my weight, veer to the right this time, veer to the right this time, and come up as a golden cockerel. Then go the opposite way to shuttle. Okay? Is it easy? Huh? No, it's not easy. So is it going to come in a few minutes? It might. Things can click in, but you're going to get it a little better, because you don't want to. You want to keep your standard, right? So you're going to have to practice, and you're going to have to study what's happening. And when you study and you look and practice, you say, hey, that kind of makes sense. The more you do it, it will make good sense. It's very logical. You're using your body in a whole unit, rather than just saying, oh, this goes here, and be a robot to get there. It's going to smooth out nicely, okay? All right. I'll tell you truthfully that my golden cockerel, if you look at me over 11 years, the span of time that I've been teaching is kind of different from what I'm doing now. You look at me and you look at Ken and you said, oh, I'd rather have Ken's style. I'd rather have Ken's style too, but I don't have his body. That's a good excuse, right? And I don't have your body, and vice versa. So you do whatever you can with whatever you have. And that's fine. And you work within your own system to get it better. Okay? Ken, you want to show them yours? Okay, so then you'll say, of course, right? Because I would like to do it, but I have a hard time doing what he does. And he tells me, do this, do that, and it doesn't come easy. So I teach you my way, he teaches you your way, and then you find your own way.
She's a stellar student. Took her only 11 years. Took me 20 years to figure it out. And I still don't, whenever I get up here, I'm showing something different. It's a thing in evolution. And sometimes it could be a step forward and then a step back, but this is the rendition that I normally would go with. So you start off here, yeah? And I don't do it like brush knee, but it's here. The hand is like so. But it's like so, and I stretch farther than some people, but the feet end up being parallel. Here, come down as much as you can, and then as this hand is coming up, it leads the foot. Yeah? And then, but I always used to forget this hand. This is a lazy hand. But you tuck this guy underneath. See? Tuck this guy. It helps you to do this. Yeah? So, come down, turn here, and then from here, this doesn't just come straight up. It comes this way. But this hand also comes this way. See? Oh, sorry. Okay. And in fact, what I didn't do was, as I come here, this is coming here. This should help you to get out. It helps you to get out. You're getting ready to shift weight. Up, okay? So, my newest version requires that you don't forget this hand. You know, like when I first try to teach people, everybody's wanting to do this, everybody's wanting to do this. They're not thinking you got to do this or you got to do this, right? Same thing here. Down, here, up, okay? And this hand, as you're coming from this position, the balance is here. So your balance is here, but now you're about to shift weight. So you rotate here. And then you're going to shift, you're going to rotate even farther. You're going to try to get this hand to sweep you farther. Okay? But the key, one of the keys, and I still have difficulty, is trying to get this foot beyond straight. Here, should be out here, sort of going in that direction, because then you can come up. You get a little better balance. If you go straight, like you saw me at the beginning, I'm sort of falling to one side. So it's just exercise in evolution and understanding what your body is capable of doing. Okay, well, I guess there's so much to learn, and it's beyond count, like I keep telling people, it's beyond counting 10, beyond counting 16, beyond counting 27. It's just knowing the sequence and then working with it for however long you're in Tai Chi, working with your body, its limitations at the given time, work up to improve that, but also get into your mind the techniques. That's why we go back to, nowadays I go back to Yang Cheng Fu's.